Welcome to our Gran Turismo 7 review. We're in a Porsche Speedster racing through checkpoints with a medley of classical numbers blasting over the top. This is GT7's new music rally mode. It doesn't make total sense, it didn't in our preview of the game either, but we're too into the new PS5 powered visuals to care. As I skip our left wheels across the curb, the left side of the controller vibrates. And after we try a little too much throttle, the tyres on our Porsche screech and shudder through the controller too. Even in these first tentative laps, this feels like the essence of Gran Turismo, only now made to look and feel as good as we thought it did in 1998. A number of classic features have returned, including the home map, an area where you'll spend most of your time. After the stripped-down feel of Gran Turismo Sport, it's a welcome nod to the games that built the GT mythos. Just like the older games, there's a license centre, racing area and places to buy new and used cars, but this time there's also a cafe, which we'll get onto later. In truth, many things are the same. Aside from the music rally mode you're thrown into at the beginning, and a cafe that gives you extra facts and helps you steer through the game's content, this is like every other Gran Turismo game. Indeed, the first few hours could broadly be taken place in almost any GT besides Gran Turismo Sport and the odd prologue. The handling feels largely like previous games, but that's not a bad thing. Like Gran Turismo Sport before it, GT7 is still more of a sim than an arcade racer, but iRacing it isn't. Depending on your tyre compounds and track conditions, your car will handle very differently, and you'll need to change your inputs to compensate. Wet weather requires lighter, smoother driving, and it's possible to feel the grip change as you enter wetter and drier parts of the track. Even in the dry, diving into corners with less performance-orientated cars means you'll need to deal with the grip and weight transfer problems. Take the same corners in a lighter or tuned car, and you'll find pitch and roll less of an issue. Interestingly, we played the game with both a wheel and a controller and found the PS5 controller's new features to be a game changer. More detailed feedback from ABS, curbs and other events makes it far easier to understand what the car is doing, helping you to better tailor your corrections. It offers nowhere near the feedback of a wheel of course, but it's a far more tactile experience than before. We're told AI has been reworked, but in practice the computer seems just as unaware of you as it did throughout the previous GT titles. It's a shame, as it takes away from the realism the rest of the game works so hard to achieve. We were told this will be updated throughout the game's life, so hopefully something happens sooner rather than later. The cars may feel like previous games, but they look very different in Gran Turismo 7. Ray tracing and replays along with high resolution details, HDR throughout and a smooth frame rate all help to make GT7 look as polished as the cars it showcases. The level of detail here hasn't been in a GT game before and easily eclipses more realistic games such as Assetto Corsa or iRacing on the PC. Only something such as Forza on the Xbox Series X matches the visuals here. Chrome gleams on classic cars, liveries reflecting puddles, while light and shadow look almost lifelike. Only the cleanliness and lack of dirt is the main thing stopping GT7 from being photorealistic. In summary, Gran Turismo 7 is a return to form and surely the most complete racing game ever made. Featuring more classic and contemporary cars, more tracks from new and old titles and more customization, it's everything we'd expect from Gran Turismo, for better or worse. While it replaces what GT Sport left out, and while it also includes a strong dose of nostalgia and car culture, it does so on its own terms, and you'll either love it or hate it. From the first 10 minutes onwards, this is a game that doesn't try to pander to new crowds. Instead, it gives you the best of Gran Turismo and assumes that'll be enough to get you hooked. And to be fair, it probably is. If you're addicted to the grinding and tweaking of GT games past, or getting gold on every license test, this is a game that'll be everything you want. If, however, you're after something a little more accessible or you're new to the series, the way you progress through the game and the way you win could be a little daunting. Still, the same can be said of the previous games and they're now classics, responsible for creating a new generation of car fans. Thanks for watching.